Hey guys, thank you for tuning to Mumu Outdoors. Today I'm going to give you guys a review of my paddle kayak. This guy is a West Marine Pompano 120, which is exactly the same as Perception Pescador 120. This kayak is known as a poor man's wilderness system because they use the same mold as a Tarpon 120 before 2008. So any Tarpon 120 before 2008 has the exact same hull design. So Tarpon kind of changed their hull design in 2008. It went to a little bit more all-around kayak, a little bit wider, and also Perception changed their hull design in 2018 as well with the wider kayak, which I'm not that much fan of, but I'll tell you why. So let me be clear, you cannot get this kayak brand new with this hull shape anymore. You're gonna have to find the used kayak. But at the time, this retailed for $650, I believe, but I got it on sale. I think I paid just over $500, and I think this is one of the best cheap 12-foot long offshore kayak, and I'll tell you why. Let's do a little walkthrough of this kayak. I'm gonna flip it. So I don't know if you guys can tell, if you look at the hull design, it's very round compared to River 13. River 13 is more kind of flat with the round edges, but this thing is even more round. And having a round hull design, it actually glides really well. And if you look at the keel in the front, it's got really sharp, long keel. And the hull design is very round. And if you look at the rear keel, it's got really sharp, deep keel as well. This really helps with the tracking. So overall, the hull has a slight rocker profile, which means it's gonna go over the smaller waves graciously, and with the pointy bow and a sharp keel, can really punch through the bigger waves. So starting from the bow, you got the webbing handle here, and you got your hatch, some bungee as well. This is more of a rubber hatch. It's got pretty decent size front hatch storage area. And I added these two. There's a little track, and this is a Scotty base mount for my rod holder and for my GoPro. Coming to the center, it's got a small center hatch, which I store some water in here. Got some mesh pockets here for your tackles, whatnot, and a webbing handle. And depends on the year, it may or may not come with the anchor trolley. So this one came with the anchor trolley. And the seat here is pretty much built-in seat with the backrest. Just flip that here, flip that here from falling forward, and you adjust your backrest angle with the strap down here. Pretty comfortable actually. Only thing that is lacking is the cushion. Cushion is not that thick, but that's something you can get used to. Prefer a little more cushion, you can easily add a foam pad. This is like a 1.5 inch foam pad that I use on my River 11, and also I've used this foam pad on this kayak as well, but after getting used to it, actually I didn't even need it. And if you look at behind the seat, you have a little hatch with the liner, and we got two flush mount rod holders and the tank well. Of course, you got your bungee. Used to go across, but I kind of reroute it so it doesn't get in the way. And you have a drain plug here, and here you can attach a rudder if you like to. You still have to drill a hole here and here for the rudder cable, but you attach your rudder at this spot if you like. And your paddle park here, same thing, webbing handle. So the specs of this kayak is 12 feet long, and this is a 28 inches wide, pretty narrow kayak. Very efficient underwater and tracks really well. Other than that, really simple design. As you can see behind me, I have a garage now. I got my River 13 there, I got my poor man's Tarpon 120 here, and there might be another kayak I might be adding to my fleet, something longer, around 16 foot. Anyhow, let's take this out on the water. I'm gonna go over to the local lake here, go for a little paddle. Lots of weeds right now, lots of weeds. As I mentioned, the Perception Pescador 120 or West Marine Pompano 120, they changed their hull in 2018. So it became much wider. I said earlier, I'm not really a fan of it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that kayak. If you guys been following my channel, you guys know that I prefer more efficient and narrower kayak. And it seems like every kayak on the market is getting wide with tons of primary stability. This guy right here, like I showed you earlier, the hull shape is very round, which means it's not going to have a good primary stability, but it does have excellent secondary stability. It just locks in right there, which I kind of prefer more than primary stability, and I kind of explained this in my River 13 review. A lot of people are getting into kayak fishing, and as a beginner you are looking for stability. You want something stable. I was the same way. The very first kayak I bought a stable kayak, which was slow, and after a while and after a short period of time, I didn't like it a bit. That's why I ended up getting the River 11, and I bought this kayak I think beginning of 2017. I did a lot of research and I found out that this kayak uses the same hull as pre-2008 Wilderness Systems Tarpon 120. I hear so much good stuff about Tarpon 120, so I decided to pick this one up, and I've been very happy with it. So if you were to get this kayak, you have to get it used, which means you could probably pick this one up less than $400 used, and with that money, $400 or less, this is going to be a very affordable offshore capable kayak. I'll link all the videos that when I fish with this kayak in the description. I went to Sonoma Coast for rock cut, ling cut fishing in this kayak. I went to the mountain lakes for Mackinac. Actually, a lot of my friends have been on this kayak, and my buddy George, who now has an Outback, I introduced kayak fishing with this kayak too. So why do I like this kayak? Like I said, the hull design, the hull shape, rocker profile, the width, everything about it screams efficiency. So even though this is a 12 foot is pretty short kayak, but this thing glides really well and tracks really well. Even if you're a beginner paddler, this kayak is gonna go pretty straight because that long keel, it actually takes a lot of effort to turn this kayak. So basically, pretty short 12-foot kayak made for traveling long distance and made for efficiency. So out in the ocean, when you are battling the current and the swell and the wind, you actually want a pretty efficient kayak. Otherwise, you struggle paddling against the wind and the current, which I had a bad experience before with my first kayak, which was Lifetime. After that bad experience, I was like, oh no, I need more efficient kayak. That's why I picked up Vivo 11, and that's why I picked up this guy right here. The other thing I forgot to mention was the weight capacity is 350 pounds on this one. So, which means ideally you want to be less than 250. You want to have extra 100 pounds for your gear and whatnot. And the weight of the kayak is actually really light, 60 pounds, which is 10 pounds lighter than my Vivo 13. This kayak is so easy to cart out, and you can just carry it with one hand, walk 50 yards without any issues. If you are getting into kayak fishing and if you are on a budget and if you want to fish the bay or out in the ocean, I highly recommend this kayak. Very efficient, tracks well, seaworthy. This is a 2017 year model, the last this hull design. Even as 2017, I could probably pick it up $400 or less. The downside, the negative of this kayak is this is gonna be a wet kayak, wet ride, meaning that there's always gonna be a puddle of water by the scupper holes. But if you are out in the ocean, doesn't really matter. Your feet are gonna be wet from the start. The seat is not the lawn chair style seat. It's more of a clip-on seat, but kind of built in. It's actually pretty comfortable. Only downside is the padding for your butt is kind of thin, but that's something you can get used to. Just like when you are riding a bicycle for the first time in a while, your butt hurts no matter how much cushion you have. But after a couple of days of riding, you get used to it. Same thing here. So if you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more, and go outside and enjoy the outdoors.